All right, we are going to take notes over inverse functions. Now, the word inverse tells us that it's an undoing. So in order to get an inverse, it's like doing the opposite of that function. So there are two ways to find inverses. One way is by graphing, and the second way is algebraically. So we're going to do both of those ways today. So let's say that we have a function of, let's call it y equals 3x plus 6. So let's say that I have this function, and I'm going to graph it here. And let's find a table of values that fits our function. So I need to make sure that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go down one more. Where should we go? Let's do it here. I should have done it lower, but that's okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my starting point. I need to go up 3 and over 1 for my slope, but if I go up this way and over that way, it's going to run into my paper. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 and over this way, which is the same thing. I'm going to do it twice. 1, 2, 3 and over 1. So I have my linear function here and through 3 points. So let's see what this table of values is just for these 3 points, x and y. I have 0, 6, and I have -1, 3, and then I have -2, 0. So to find it by graphing, so to find my inverse by graphing, my x and y values are flipped. So x and y values flip. So my new function, x, y, so instead of 0, 6, my new function is 6, 0. Instead of -1, 3, it's 3, -1. Instead of -2, 0, it's 0, -2. So let's graph this and see what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way at the edge. And then 3, -1, 1, 2, 3, down 1. And then 0, -2 is here. So if you notice, our lines intersect here, but also it's a reflection over this line here, y equals x. So this line is y equals x. So we're going to say inverses are a reflection over y equals x. So very important there. Now, if this is my function here, let's see what our function is for this line. I want to find my slope and I want to find my y-intercept. Well, I see my y-intercept is -2, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. No, there's an x, so now I need to find slope. So I'm going to rise 1 and run 3. Rise 1 and run 3 to get to my next number. So that's my function for this one. So these are inverses of one another. So if we call this f of x, we're going to call the inverse f of -1 of x. So those are inverse function. That's how you notate it. F of x and f of -1 of x. All right, so that's one way, graphing. And now let's do algebraically. Algebra. All right, 2 steps. You're going to switch the x and y. Second step, I guess we can put this as a 1, and a 2 is solve for y. So here's one of our examples. If we have y equals 2x plus 10. To find my inverse function, I'm going to switch my x and my y. So I'm going to put x here, and I'm going to put y here. Notice how we just switched the variables, not anything else. Now we're going to solve for y. So I need to solve for this letter here. So I'm going to get rid of the 10. So I have x minus 10 equals 2y, and we're going to divide by 2. Remember, when you divide by everything. So we have y equals, this is 1/2 x minus 5. All right, those two examples, and we'll do some more in class, but those are your two ways. To find graphically, you find 3 points, 2 or 3 points, and then you switch your points. To find algebraically, you switch the x and y and solve for y.